The old creaking house at the edge of Hollow Grove had stood vacant for decades, its windows dark and broken, walls covered in ivy. The Johnson family, seeking a fresh start, moved in, ignoring the whispered warnings from the locals. The first night felt unnervingly quiet. As they unpacked, small things began to go wrong. The lights flickered and strange cold drafts swept through the house. Their son, Ethan, was the first to notice. Standing in the hallway, he heard faint whispers echoing from the basement, words he couldn't understand, voices that didn't belong. His mother, Emily, brushed it off as nerves, but as the night wore on, footsteps echoed in the empty upstairs rooms. No one was there. When they went to investigate, the floorboards were disturbingly warm to the touch, as though someone, or something, had recently walked there. Over the next few days, the strange occurrences multiplied. Shadows moved in rooms where no one stood, and doors opened and shut on their own. Ethan began talking about a figure he saw at the foot of his bed every night, a woman with hollow eyes, silently watching him. His parents dismissed it as nightmares, until Emily began experiencing the same. She would wake up in the dead of night, paralyzed, sensing an oppressive presence hovering over her, too cold to be human. The family dog, Max, refused to enter the basement, growling at the door as if something sinister was hiding down there. When Ethan's toys began moving on their own, and eerie laughter filled the house late at night, the family finally realized they were not alone. The house itself was alive, with ghosts, remnants of the tormented souls who had once lived there. Desperate for answers, Emily and her husband, Mark, started digging into the history of Hollow Grove. They uncovered a horrifying truth. A family had once lived there, before vanishing without a trace. Their bones were never found, but the townspeople whispered that they had been trapped in the house, doomed to haunt its halls for eternity. Determined to confront whatever lurked within, Mark descended into the basement one night, armed with nothing but a flashlight. The walls were covered in strange symbols, scratched deep into the stone. As he reached the far end, he stumbled upon a hidden door, sealed shut with chains. The moment he touched the door, a deafening wail filled the room, and the chains rattled violently as though something was trying to break free. From behind the door, a voice whispered, "You shouldn't have come here." Suddenly, the basement went cold, and Mark saw them, the ghosts of the missing family, their faces twisted in agony. Before he could react, the door burst open, revealing the dark truth behind the house. The Johnson family had unwittingly disturbed a force beyond their comprehension, and now they too would have to fight to survive, or become the next ones to vanish into the shadows of Hollow Grove.